winner's match. It will be in the top right-hand corner of Overgrowth, playing for Brought to Life, the Red Zerg, Maellic.
His lonely blue Terran opponent in the bottom left of Overgrowth, the winner of the first match, Heaven vs. Hell Gaming, noMADe, our German Terran.
Ah, it's German. That's
I feel like it's noMADe.
I know. I'm always wondering, like.
We'll have to
totally
clarify with him for sure, but he's got two barracks down at his front.
Whoa.
So some pressure, but not too all in. I like this.
I haven't seen this that often. I think Flash has done it, and I remember one of my old teammates, Poke Bunny, was doing this when he made his return to StarCraft, and he was like, "All right, I'm gonna do this on Overgrowth as well." And then he saw Flash do it, and he's like, "Yes, my life isn't a lie, you know." It's actually legit. So it's pretty much like a 2-racks, but
I mean that's basically like if you wrote the Bible, and then God was like, "Okay, the Bible is legit, guys."
No, it's like God being. It's like you write Genesis and like you just write it in there, and God's like, "Oh, did you remember? Oh yeah, you wrote it down. Yeah, good."
Yep.
An interesting thing from this though is it literally is the exact same timing as as a 2-racks, just only there. So I'm curious how that's going to affect his economy.
Yeah, I mean the cool part about it is that I was talking about how I feel Overgrowth is a much better map to do this on. In general, like a 2-racks.
Drones.
But this is a lot safer. It could force an overreaction, and it's gonna do damage no matter what, in the sense of it being mining time, whether it be a drone kill. But just having these drones, forcing out a spine crawler even is damage. And look, the barracks are at home, so you're gonna try to counterattack with Banelings. Good luck, man.
Yeah.
He gets that full wall.
Yeah, 6 Lings trying to come out, but Lings take 24 seconds, and the bunker will be done before they even pop. And so we will have, it looks like the second Marine getting in, third Marine in, so 3 Marines in a bunker, second bunker going up. And right now this is not looking too good for Maellic in this position. I mean, you have 2 spine crawlers, but 2 spine crawlers that can't touch anything, so...
He'll be able to reposition his spine crawlers in a way that he can attack the bunkers without taking any damage, assuming he can get them down.
Poor Maellic though, man.
With 2 complete bunkers now, noMADe is looking very solid right now.
Just can't catch a break. I was getting bunker arrested in game number 1. Like, leave my hatcheries alone, man. But these spine crawlers are kind of chilling, waiting to the last second. That is 2 bunkers. 3 Marines in the second one, too. Yeah.
Not good.
You actually don't need to get them that close to where they take damage. And now he's going to lose all of these Lings attacking the bunker. And the bunker's not going down. They're still in SCV repairing.
He did lose 2 SCVs in that fight, and both bunkers around half health, but they should dispatch with these 2 spine crawlers. We have 6 more Lings on the way. Baneling Nest in metabolic boost, about 2/3 of the way done, but right now, even these bunkers go down, there's no SCV to help them, but that is still 8 Marines. He pulls them out, salvages both of them in perfect time. Will probably catch this Queen. Will he catch this Queen? I mean, only 6 Lings right here. He needs some great Baneling hits right here to make just about anything happen. I would have really liked to see him go in and snipe that Queen, though.
He's got his natural command center 2/3 done, just starting a 3rd and his wall at his front. He's just going to fall back and ride this advantage into the mid-game. He is way ahead right now.
What's even
I don't know if there's a hole there. Is there? I don't know.
There's
that's
a hole.
A full wall.
I think the corner of the command center is actually loose there. The top right of the bunker and the bottom left of the command center, I believe, is a hole. I'm not 100% sure.
Find out sooner or later, because here they come.
There is. Yeah, the Marine moved straight through it right there. Looks like it'll be...
Crap.
Oh. Bunker perfectly placed down right there. What I was just going to say, though, is what I love about also using the barracks as a wall is, I mean, they have more health than a supply depot. It's kind of obvious, but it's still like... Well, you have a wall here now, and you have a wall here that can take 1,000. That can take double the amount of damage as one supply depot. And so I really like that from there. And the command center going down. The one thing about this Maellic does know, okay, he's going for the command center, but still, Maellic's in not a good position here, anyways. So I don't know if he can really pressure that to make it work.
Oh my God, a little cheeky move up, but it is not even gonna matter because that is a lot of Marines. He's able to continue to produce a lot of these Marines at home. That is the big factor here. He didn't have to decide between moving the barracks home to protect it or making more units to pressure the natural still. So
yeah, typically when you're in Maellic's position and you hold off that 2 racks pressure, then you think, oh, I have to go counterattack before he gets Marines at home. But noMADe already metagaming Maellic. I've got Marines at home, bro. I've got 2 barracks on my wall and a command center. Like, no Zerg is going to commit to building enough Banelings to break this wall, because then he's not going to have any gas or minerals to do anything else. Maellic,
and even if he breaks the wall, like, you have to deal with all these units as well. You're only on 1 hatchery production, and he's on 20 drones, man.
And to boot, he's got 3 supply depots at the top of the ramp. So, I mean, even if you break through that, he can throw the supply depots up and be relatively safe through that. We do see Maellic, though, going out for some scouts, trying to take his Naga towers. He really wants to know the exact moment noMADe moves out. And, I mean, he may say it with here, it does look like we'll probably see some medevacs coming out of noMADe soon. But, I mean, this is going to be very, very tricky to hold for Maellic. He's got a decent amount of gas in the bank right now, though, and he's not going up to layer anything, so I assume there will be Banelings, but still no defensive forces and only 1 queen. So his production is just not good right now.
He's going to take a third right now, but noMADe's going to be able to land his third, put on the drop pressure, and just be sitting pretty, way ahead.
Yeah.
What I was going to
so far,
Sorry, what I was going to say, though, is like going from 3 bases to 2 bases, you lose the income, but you still have production. Going from 2 to 1, you lose production and the income. So you're just not in a good position. And off the back of this, noMADe be like, you know what, I feel good. Let's go for 1-1. Let's get Stim going. You know, all the upgrades that he needs to just do a devastating push mid-game.
And he picks up that Scouting Overlord. That hurts. Maellic is on a handful of larvae at any one time when his injects pop, and an extra larva dedicated to an extra Overlord hurts right now. And as a Zerg, you want to be spamming drones at this point in the game. You don't want to be worrying about, oh no, I'm out of larva, oh no, I need this, that. Like, you just want to be spewing everything, and he can't.
Mm-hmm. He just can't. I mean, 38 drones to 47, triple command center with triple mule. Upgrades are going to be finishing here for noMADe as well. His tech, he is where he wants to be. 1-1, look at all this production that's about to be made, and he even feels so safe that he's going to move those barracks into his main and remake the wall with supply depots.
And his armory's 20 seconds from finishing. He's going to start 2-2 shortly after that, I'd assume. He's just going to... He's so far ahead right now.
It's just, he's literally lapping Maellic at the moment in whatever race that they're running in, and he's not even going so full... Yeah, right? The racial race of stuff.
The armory's done. He can actually morph these 4 Hellions into Hellbats and walk in with these, or drop in with 8 Marines in this medevac. Oh man, the Banelings are just now morphing.
Maellic desperately trying to get these Banelings into this position. Hellions in a bad position. They will get sniped off, but after doing a ton of damage, so the area of effect is so big, and they could really just go into this medevac if they want to. Looks like that happens. Only loses 1 Marine out of that. Does lose the Hellions, but I mean, those Hellions in there wiped out 2/3 of that Ling force, which is really all Maellic had to even have any idea.
Yeah, Maellic held that off. You know, that's a great feeling. You know, that's cool, whatever. But what are you going to do now? Now you're out of Lings. You can't really afford to be making more Lings. He has to be building drones. But he has no third base. He's going to try and get it up now, but this is just so dangerous. He's about to lose his only other Overlord on the map. Yeah, this is really painful to watch.
Perfect textbook description of when you're ahead, get more ahead. We didn't see noMADe go and try to do some crazy YOLO push and just end the game. He's just going to get so far ahead that it's going to be like a standard TVZ. Yeah, right? And then Maellic just won't have enough. We saw Maellic against Saranghae, where he just had way more stuff, right? And was patient, went in for the attack. We're just going to see a flood of Terran units, and just not enough going to be out for Maellic. There's literally just no way that he can get enough.
This is going to be kind of a textbook TVZ, except for the fact that Maellic is still on Chapter 2, while noMADe is going on to the 3rd semester here.
It's on the epilogue, son.
Yeah, he has read the textbook. He is doing the homework questions. He is walking away with this right now. I mean, sure, you don't want to ever take a bad fight when it's MMM versus Ling Bling Muta, but if you ask a Terran, like, hey, how about you take that same fight up 50 supply, up a base,
definitely.
Way ahead in tech, up 2 upgrades, like, oh yeah, every time, you can just A-move that. And that's what we're just waiting for at this point. noMADe's going to get comfortable, take his 3rd base, so saturated, look at that.
Yeah. He's up to 64 SCVs, man. Like, not to try to, keep on driving this into the ground, but not to say, oh, Maellic is so far behind and, like, he's getting totally outplayed. It's just the fact of what happened. in the beginning of the game with the bunker rush and being safe, and having units be forced out by Maellic and then not doing anything, where he wanted to be making drones.
Yeah. The thing that I don't really like out of Maellic, as we saw, is he's kind of going Spires, the one thing like, this needs to get damage, I'm going to throw it somewhere and hope it does something. But in that very first attack, he morphs 8 Banelings, and those Banelings don't kill anything. Now, obviously, I've proven me wrong, it helped him right there, but that definitely took up some of his early gas and obviously Banelings. He's got 6 mutas right here, now engaging Spinecrawler moving forward. Banelings going for the hit, they do have such feeble hooks. Oh, getting some decent damage done. Widowmine's not even broed yet. GG. noMADe takes game 1 of this winner's match.
Gentlemen, welcome back to the ASL Vanguard League. It is the round of 32, and this is the winner's match. But this player here in the bottom left, man, he's trying to fight. He's fighting in order to bring it back. We've seen some very solid play out of him, but got dismantled last game. Can he do it? Representing Brought to Life, it is gonna be Maellic.
In the top right, Expedition Lost, we have our German blue-wearing Terran, noMADe, representing Heaven versus Hell Gaming. Nothing too cheeky out of him this game, guys. Just gas in barracks. Gonna see a Reaper. Gonna see some standard action out of this guy.
The one thing I've really liked out of Maellic is that in the games, on all the games he's played, he hasn't just GG'd right out. We were kind of talking in the break how definitely, or actually it was even before the break, just how sometimes we'll be a Zerg player, okay, I lost my natural, I'm just gone. But definitely, he held on and he said, I'm not giving up, I'm trying, and you know what? That's what counts.
The fighting spirit, yeah.
Fighting spirit. See, very standard coming out of noMADe, as we were saying before, very, very standard out of him. I'm kind of curious whether if this goes to a game 3, if we're going to see a switch up, or like we were saying before, some sort of bunker push like he did. But that was even kind of gutsy on him, just being like, game 1, yep, let's bunker push.
Yeah, we've seen that twice, from Saranghae and then from noMADe, like that 2 racks to start out the series. And that is scary, because didn't we see that as well from noMADe against Endersword? Like, hey, I'm going to start it out with the Widowmine drop. Boom, I'm in your face, I'm in your base, and game number 1 set the pace of a whole series.
Even though we kind of say it as being like, oh crap, I need to get back ahead, if you do it in the first game, you lose it, okay, I lost it. You win it, your opponent's like, oh, what? This guy, he's not afraid. It's like, if your opponent just DT's not a great example, but if your opponent like proxy 3 gates you, the next game you're like, oh crap, like you meet him again on ladder, you meet again in a tournament, you're worried.
Yep, for sure.
Yeah, noMADE is definitely dictating the pace of this match, not just the individual games, but he's in charge right now, and it's on Maellic to get back into this.
For sure.
For a moment right there with Maellic, I thought he was going to save both those drones a second time around. I was like, ooh, that is some beautiful micro. Looks like he will lose 1. 2 Reapers moving into his natural. They should be able to out-micro these Lings, but can't really move up into that Queen's radius for now.
Yeah, as a Zerg player, you definitely want to be very conservative with this. You don't want to chase them out unless you really feel like they're doing something at home. But the best thing you can do is just stay in your mineral line with the Queens, go out when they venture out to the creep. Don't chase it out, because then they'll outmaneuver you. But Expedition Lost is not the best map for Reapers, so maybe you can get a little bit cheeky with those Lings if you want to. But
out of noMADE, we do see what looks like probably some sort of, for at least what we saw from before do it, some Banshee Hellion play. I wonder how that's going to work out on this map, because the choke point is very small now. At least you do have Banshees that can come in the back, but I mean, you have to take out on his rocks, so if he does do that Hellion push, it's definitely going to have to be a drop. It can't just be Hellions in the natural, because they're not going to be able to make it up that ramp that easily.
Mm-hmm. With the lack of gas, I actually think it might be. We saw him take double gas before when he did the Banshee type of play. So, actually that was Saranghae, but we haven't seen noMADE's.
Same thing, noMADE's Saranghae.
CBT, right?
All Terran players, all in the same group.
They're all the same person.
Together. The nice thing
from
Merit,
there we go, medevac.
Yeah, I mean, I really just feel like the medevac you do that, because if there was one Evo chamber up here, with 1 Queen and even this amount of Lings, you can just shut that attack down. That attack, you've saved up for it, and you're like, okay, I'm going to go execute it. If this does damage, I'm in a nice position. If it doesn't, not in a bad position, but definitely if it's shut down, it's not going to be that great for noMADE. But it's the 3rd for Maellic, so a little bit worried about there. Even if he doesn't dart into the natural, he can dart into the 3rd, which obviously he will be doing that right now.
He stopped his Hellion production, though. Gonna be going into Widow Mine, so this might be just a regular, straight-up pressure. And there goes that third base as well. There are no Banshees on the way, but there is a medevac boosting across the map with 2 Widow Mines. So very interesting play here out of noMADe as he gets the attention of Maellic at the third. And then all of a sudden, there's going to be 2 Widow Mines without Lair being up just yet. Oh man, I can tell you this is a really annoying situation to be in.
Yeah, this is really frustrating as a Zerg player, and you don't have the units to deal with these 4 Hellions and 2 Reapers. They're going to take down that third base for free right now. Widow Mine's landing in the main. This hurts right now.
Yeah, and the third goes down. Roach push is going to be Maellic's type of choice, but, I mean...
Yeah, Lair is done for Maellic right here. noMADe actually picks up the second Widow Mine instead of burrowing both in the first, in the main base. He does burrow in the natural base. In the third base, we'll be taken out, as you're saying, and from noMADe, right, what I liked out of that attack is normally you scout, the Zerg player, in this case Maellic, will scout your opponent, and you'd say, okay, are they doing a Hellbat drop, or are they doing, like, Hellion Banshee?
Oh, the Widow Mine is about to reload in the main, and there are Lings there, too.
Looks like 9 Lings only killed so far for noMADe. But just what I was saying, though, is strategy-wise, mind game.
Not bad. Maellic is dodging the bullet here quite a bit. It seems like noMADE's Widow Mines are merciful. One thing you have to keep in mind is that a Nidus Worm is on the way. We're going to see a Roach Queen Nidus type of play. But I don't know. Where's it going to go off? Where is it going to go?
Definitely Maellic is a nice Overlord spread here. Or at least he can dart into where he wants. Now, I'd like to see Overlord speed with it, just so maybe he gets a nice position. But yeah, only because in the main base, noMADE is
starting in the main.
But yeah,
there it goes. There's not a lot of units here,
very
actually,
clearly.
for noMADe.
But only...
There aren't that many units.
Yeah, I was going to say like 8 Marines out.
Yeah, and the bunker's at the front.
13 Roaches and 5 Queens. He's probably going to bring 3 with this.
Oh my god. And we'll see how much damage will be done. If there's an Overseer here, I don't see it just yet.
Morphing now. One creep tumor down.
Off. Second Widow Mine going off, taking out 2 Roaches. Now, any more damage done these Queens, each of them has 1 transfuse on them, or except for 1, so they should be okay. SCV's being shit, moving around those Marines right there. Marines having a nice, a little bit of a nice attack there with the Marauder, but look,
so many SCVs dying right now.
Yep, and the third command center went down. The real best part about the third command center build is that if you take critical damage, you can make a bunch of SCVs after, but the SCVs, they got killed, the command center got killed, and Maellic is moving on in. Stim is just now finished, and the medevacs are on the other side of the map. They just now meet up with the rest of the army, but this is a lot of Zerg in the base of our Terran player.
25 workers killed now for Maellic. This is huge damage, way more than I think he expected to do with this. I mean, he morphed that Nidus in full vision. Full vision, but this is just fantastic for Maellic. This is the game he needed to come back into the series.
I would have liked to see him keep these Queens alive, pumping out more Roaches.
More Roaches.
It was kind of interesting because he rallied all his Roaches at home, and now is actually, I don't want to send them one by one into a meat grinder, I want them all at the same time. He will be focusing down the factory, and I mean, even with the Widow Mine's not going to do that much damage versus
Maellic is doubling his army supply right now. More SCVs coming in? Yeah, noMADE is on the ropes.
He is doing it, man. Maellic, that's not a lot of bio. I mean, yeah, they're stimming, but GG will be called, and Maellic brings it back. His clan tag says it all. Brought to life.
Brought to life. They're holding on just by each grasp. Hello, and welcome back to ASL Vanguard League Round of 32, Group D, the final game in the winner's match. Now, on Deadwing in the top right-hand corner, representing Heaven vs. Hell Gaming, the Purple Terran, noMADe.
noMADe. His opponent, representing his clan tag quite proudly, he is brought to life himself, Maellic.
Oh wow, we can't even fathom this. Kamatiazo and I are just kind of sitting here like, what did he just do?
It's lovely.
It is lovely. I feel like you're using my terminology right there. Maybe we have the same.
Lovely, yeah.
I always say it's lovely. I'm like, that is a lovely play right there, but definitely lovely. To start off the game from noMADe, we actually see a CC first. Very
CC first.
interesting. I mean, on this map, obviously it's a large map, but I feel like he's definitely been playing the more aggressive player, and this is definitely a mind game, saying, okay, every other game I played aggressive, so Maellic is kind of like, okay, got to stay back. I went pool first. I'm in a nice position, but I think he went hatch first, but still, a little bit of a mind game, I feel like there.
I mean, especially off of game 1, right? That can still be lingering in his mind. Deadwing is not a true 4-player map, and we see people even like one of the ASL champions, Masa, doing a 2-racks on this map at a location where I think it would be like behind. I can't remember where he does it, like where that overload is floating. Yeah, and then you just go to the other base. You know, haven't seen it as much often, but CC first, starting it up very, very differently than he has done in every TVZ we've seen him play today.
I feel like watching him so far, I think he's going to end up in about the same position. I think he's just going to expect to take this slightly later into the game. But I think that aiming for the 2-2 Medevac, Marine Marauder, and Widow Mine push is generally where he's gonna go. That's my bet anyway. I don't really have.
But if
any
you saw mech
evidence
out of him out of nowhere, he just mechs to like.
I really love Terran players that can do that. That either play complete mech or complete bio. And in one game, they just know how to play. I know how to play bio a little, or I know how to play mech a little, and add it in. I really like that. But
the question is, if he mechs and Maellic Stormhost, are you two prepared for 3 hours of this with me?
I like that
on
game.
Deadwing.
I'm kind of okay with those. But what I was going to say out of Maellic is I like this getting out 3 queens to start it off, or actually 4 queens. Generally, we used to see this out of Scarlet a lot, but just getting tons of creep out, taking your third base confidently, because even with 3-4 Hellions, 4 queens are just no worries.
Oh yeah,
just brush them off
in
the
the eye,
shoulder.
right through the drivers or the windshield. But we notice here again out of Maellic, not again rather, but for the first time too, he went gasless, right? So. That's why he pumps out those 4 queens. He just now got the gas at the natural, and we'll see if he does it. Like the Scarlet route would be to go into Lair, but then you go into Speed and get really fast mutas. Whereas you see like maybe the Hyun style where they will go for roaches and get the upgrades. So whatever route he decides to take, we'll see.
Yeah, cause I would say early on what I was kind of confused about is I saw Maellic not take any gas, and I was like, I would definitely, I mean, at least in this position, facing your opponent that's so aggressive, I'd get some speed on the way. And instead he's like, nope, I'm going to go queen. So interesting switching it up. Definitely he can be defensive and be aggressive with it still. But I like that switch up a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I'd be very interested to see where he takes it, because we're talking about, hey, what if noMADe goes mech? But then again, we've seen some crazy stuff out of Maellic. You know, the fact that he went for the roaches, and look at that, a roach warren, double evo going down.
He's a Hyun fan.
Yeah, it looks like it. And Deadwing is a great map, even though it is crossed though. So maybe that's the only thing that may be working against him.
We'll
see how he makes it. That's what I'm saying, right?
Don't give a damn. It's cross positions on Deadwing. They're just gonna go in your main and ruin your day again. And this main is a whole lot bigger than Expedition Lost. And there's no backdoor for him to have an excuse to have a Marine by, you know?
Nothing in that wall right there. These Hellions will get by quite quickly and into the main with only 1 queen to defend. He's like, no, actually I take that back. I didn't want to be here.
Well, this is actually really good, not only for a scout, but how many drones he may be able to get. The roaches are just now starting to be produced. And they're stacking up.
Oh no!
Line them up. Oh my goodness.
9 so far, 11 there.
11.
Oh.
Ooh, boy. Those Hellions paid for themselves, and I mean, you know what sucks about that as a Zerg player? He was playing it super safe in case noMADe decided to go for the siege tank drop at that rocks, you know?
Yep.
Oh,
and then it's knock knock, who's there? Nobody. All right, I'm a Hellion. Let's get it. Let's party. And they went in and they brought the barbecue for sure.
Painful mistake to make, and that's one thing. Like that's why you watch your replay and you say, I need to be prepared for Hellions right there, and I need to be on top of that and waiting for that to happen on my minimap.
Yeah.
Because your build, Maellic's build, shouldn't let that happen, but it did. And now he lost 11 drones for no reason.
noMADe doing the mistake I always have. He sends the CC out to land, then brings it back, and is like, I didn't mean to rally my CC over there with my SCVs. I meant to plant it right here. Putting them back a little bit, but there's still no wall right here. Not like the force of Maellic is too scary at the moment, but definitely right now it's a huge ramp, and any attacks up should be able to get there fine. But right now, just see him chill out, throw 2 bunkers down. And getting his upgrades going, but on the other side of the map, Maellic doing pretty much the exact same thing and pretty much committing, okay, I'm going to go roaches into here, getting roach speed out.
Yeah, he's basically going to not build any more drones anymore, I wouldn't think. If he does, I'll be really surprised. This is going to be all roaches from now on. 1-1's about to finish, roach speed is about to finish, and he's just going to A-move, hopefully, to the win with roaches. He's got 7 on the way currently. He's just going to keep pumping those roaches.
Yeah, noMADe knows what's up, though. A triple bunker going down, too. And when you're in a defensive position like this, especially on a map like Deadwing, this can be pretty much what will stop it. You do want to get some siege tanks if you don't take it seriously enough, then you will be in a bad spot.
And he only has 1 Marauder.
Yeah, there's
these
no
roaches are about to have +1 armor, which gives them 2 total armor. That means Marines are doing 2 fewer damage per shot, which is very significant. That's a 25% reduction in Marine damage against these roaches.
Don't forget about the rocks either if he decides to go around.
He's got a lot of options with this push. This is why I love playing roaches. It's so versatile, and he's ready to transition at any moment with his 3rd down.
Oh man, well this is it. The supply is obviously heavily in Maellic's favor, but keep in mind that is because of the roaches do eat up a lot of that supply. But is noMADe gonna realize that these rocks are going down?
I think he sees it now. Yeah, he's pulling back. But he's completely abandoned the front. Yep. And he had to stim.
Did you see a nice stim?
Another stim. This bio is getting soft.
Not doing too
but
good
they
with
are doing a lot.
Only 1 medevac right there. 2 Widowmines out of position, but then I really liked he kept the 2 Widowmines on the ramp of the 3rd just in case. I mean, it may have just been on accident, but just in case it's some run by, I like that. And that's the situation that every caster hates, and we all talk at the exact same time, that we all back off.
That's how the Korean casters do it, though. They're like,
everyone's going over, and it's like, it doesn't matter what they're saying, they're excited, yes!
Excitement, translated.
Yeah.
So
Maellic didn't get his 5th and 6th gases down quite as early as he wanted to, so he's only just now starting his Hydra's upgrades, and that Hydra den has been done for nearly a minute now. But he's going to go into this Roach Hydra style. Not sure when he's going to get his Hive. You kind of need that quickly.
Yes.
The Vipers make that style so much stronger, and this bio force is moving out across the map, and without Hydras with their upgrades, this is going to be hard to hold off. Roaches quickly melt against this bio force.
Yeah, I love having just 1 Hellion with this force. May have been on accident, but just to scout. I've seen that every once in a while with people like, that's really a cool idea. It's those little things that you get a nice scout in. Burrowing his Widowmines, kind of securing his defensive path into where Maellic really can't move into, but I mean, even with a lot of roaches, it should be generally okay. Actually taking the engagement from behind, doing a surround, Widowmines not actually be able to get down, just barely getting down. Really surprisingly, a couple of them go off, taking a good amount of roaches, and only Marines left, which just won't do well versus this. Picking up into the medevacs, going into the main. I didn't expect that.
I'm a bit surprised that noMADe was so aggressive with it. Usually against the Roach Hydra style, you'll kind of want to chill out, get your upgrades up, because the Roach Hydra style, the Hydras are going to kill that medevac. And now, yeah, when you attack into Roach Hydra even, it is just, I don't know, you try to go into that 3-3 while dropping and peeling them apart instead of taking the fight. Like, a Roach Hydra player loves the fight, especially if you're just going to go in. He went in deep, man. He went in pretty deep.
You lost most of that army, and yeah, the Roach Hydra army needs to keep an advantage up in a mid game. If you start to fall behind as a Roach Hydra player in the mid game, you lose. Like, it's
exactly.
You just don't get to transition. You don't get to get up to Hive. No, you don't get to get up Vipers. Just that 3-3 bio with the tanks added in absolutely destroys you. But noMADe has kind of put himself on the back foot. He's still looking good to take that advantage because he's got excellent macro back at home. But this Roach Hydra force will fall flat on its face if he doesn't get damage done soon.
And it's really key for
here. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, it's really key for noMADe to get these tanks sieged up, at least in these Widowmines down, because he needs this splash damage versus composition right now. Now, he does have a lot of Marauders mixed in. He actually has 9 Marauders in this force, and that should do a lot of damage, but he's still he needs to take this engagement in a good position because he is a little bit down. And from that original fight, I feel like generally as Terran, at least you retreat into your Widow Mine, so your opponent gets taken out. But we didn't see that at all. He did overextend.
Yeah, Maellic needs to just hang back. Maellic needs to just hang back. His hive is half a minute away from finishing. He needs to get out his Vipers. He needs to consume some health off of a building, and then he needs to run in, Blinding Cloud, and Abduct, and just crush this Bioforce in one decisive push. He can't be doing this dancing thing under the fire of siege tanks. Like, that does not work.
It doesn't work, yeah. Deadwing is a good map for it, though, because you can get a lot of surface area, but when you get those Blinding Clouds out, and you attack before Terran has 3-3, and you trade, that is what you want to do. So we see some players actually favor getting Infestors and Banelings out at this stage of the game, just because Infestors will lock them all down, and the Roach Hydra will get a better concave, and then you just win the fight, while Blinding Clouding everything else as well. That deadly combo.
Yeah, that's the one thing that will make a Terran miss playing against Templar and Storm is fungal growth and Banelings and Hydralisks.
Oh my god, yeah. It is.
But this concave by Maellic is fantastic. noMADe cannot push into this right now. He will get absolutely crushed. His tanks are on siege, though.
At the same time, like we were saying, though, is really the key here is Maellic being able to use those Vipers, but right now, noMADe also has a very beautiful concave. Stimming forward, a little bit of his units should actually being behind each other, but he keeps stimming forward, moving forward, not taking out any creep yet, which is really not
what
the
Vipers.
Vipers are not ready yet. They're still consuming the natural. Here they come. They've each got one Blinding Cloud on them.
Yep,
very nice.
He's gonna go for it, but there's nothing else.
Ooh, nice.
Blinding Cloud
not
goes down
enough
on
units.
2 of the tanks.
This happened a little bit earlier, just a little bit. If he was a little bit more patient, I believe this would have been a whole different story. But now we are seeing way too much Terran from noMADe just moving on in. Viper's a little bit late to the party. They were too busy drinking, man, in the corner of the room, sipping on the punch before the party even started. And now, I think
this bio is really soft, heavily overstimmed, but there's nothing you can do about this. There's a huge Terran force in your natural, and the tanks are just going to hammer everything.
They're heavily overstimmed, but they're heavily overstimmed with 8 medevacs, so they can heavily overstim all they want. Taking out the Hydralisk Den right now, not looking too good for Maellic. Attempting, desperately trying to pump out more roaches, and even if he can push this back, the third base, GG, noMADe takes Game 2, or Game 3 actually, going to the 2-1 victory right there.